In this video, I compare the GAN 356X and the GTS3M. These are both flagship puzzles from MoYu and GAN, and I'm here to show you how these not only compare, but which cube I think is personally best. Real fast, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider supporting my channel by subscribing. Alright, to kick off this comparison, let's start with the packaging. The GTS3M has a better box in my opinion, but the GAN 356X has better parts to display, so we'll call it a draw. Let's start this off with each cube's current setup. I have the GTS3M's core lubed with Vortex, and the pieces lubed with a combination of Weight 5 and Solar Lube. Additionally, I have the dual adjustment set to the 4th click. I have the GAN 356X setup with the yellow GES nuts and the numerical GTN set to 1. I also have the clear magnets that are the strongest, and I have the pieces both lubed with Weight 5 and Solar Lube. The appearance of the GAN 356X is visually stunning, as is all GAN puzzles. This is why I'm continually drawn to Apple products. I love the sleek and how seamlessly smooth everything looks, absolutely beautiful. As for the GTS3M, the plastic looks less glossy and doesn't look as visually appealing because of the ridges that really disrupt the flow of the pieces. As for the cube noise, you get a noticeably quieter cube with the GAN 356X as opposed to the GTS3M, which is very clacky. There are pros and cons to both for me because I prefer noisier puzzles. For some reason, I'm more confident in my rotations when I have that noise. The tensions are more generous with the GAN 356X, and it's much looser. The GTS3M is a little tighter, but not too bad. For both, corner cutting is right about at that 50-degree mark, and I should make note the GAN 356X cuts at 50 degrees more effortlessly than the GTS3M. Reverse corner cutting is about at that first line for both puzzles, maybe slightly past it with the GAN 356X. But just like the corner cutting, it does require less effort with the GAN 356X versus the GTS3M. Well, while I have you here real fast, the GAN 356X is 56 millimeters. It weighs 79.37 grams. It was released October 15th, 2018, and you can get it for $61.95. The GTS3M is 56 millimeters. It weighs 90.71 grams. It was released June 26, 2018, and you can get it for $34.95. You can get both these cubes right now at speedcubeshop.com. How about we compare the turning? So starting with the GTS3M, there is a reason why I love this puzzle so much for so long. Its balance between magnetic strength, slight gummy feel, and those buttery smooth rotations make this puzzle feel effortless. It's so beyond stable, and it's a very forgiving puzzle for someone like me that has a tendency to overturn and rotate sloppy. Based on how stable it is, you wouldn't think it would be this lightning fast, but it is. So now let's look at the GAN 356X. This is undeniably smooth and buttery, even though I feel both these puzzles have equal magnetization. Because the GAN pieces are lighter, I feel that magnetic bump more. Since I have this puzzle dialed in with the highest settings for both magnets and GES, it's about as stable as it's gonna get. With that said, I feel confident in my rotations, but I get distracted with that, magnetic bump. It's a little too defined. Going from the GAN 356X to the GTS3M, I really have to change the way I solve. I personally put more power behind my solves, which is why I like the GTS3M. Okay, how do these puzzles compare internally? Let's start with the cores. Structurally, the GAN 356X is fairly basic looking, where the GTS3M is more bulky with those lips around the center caps, for edge and corner stability. As far as the cores look, the GAN 356X has that light blue core, where the GTS3M has that white core. The GAN 356X is more free-flowing, and the GTS3M feels a bit more laggy because, again, the screws and the springs. As for the edges and corners, you can't deny the GAN puts a lot more effort in revolutionizing their pieces. I love having that honeycomb. Having that honeycomb does wonders for evenly distributing lube across the entire piece and ensures it's a quieter puzzle. Though the GTS3M has ridges over the entire corner, it just doesn't look as cool. It still does an amazing job distributing lube though. Something I'll make note of is how similar the corner pieces are. They both have the lip on each of the corners as well as a similar looking corner stock and base. The only thing I can't compare is the GMS, that GAN magnet system. It is the only puzzle in the market that can do this, and is the reason why I'm comparing these puzzles with the GAN 356X on my favorite setting. Now that these puzzles are put back together, let's end with the tensioning systems. GAN's GES version 3 with numerical IPG is the newest innovation to come out of the GAN labs, and I have to admit, it's extremely legit. The fact that I can swap out the GES nuts and evenly tension by hand is amazing. The only problem with the numerical IPG is that I'm limited to 3 compression settings. On the flip side, the dual adjustment system is equally revolutionary. I get to tighten or loosen the screw, and then I'm given 8 different compression settings that I can evenly adjust because of the click. So where does this leave me? For stability, I have to go with the GTS3M. It's a stronger and more durable feel to it. Speed, I have to go with the 356X because it's much more fluid and probably has the ability to go faster. Cube noise, gotta go with the GAN 356X by far, much quieter. Magnetic strength, I'm going with the GTS3M. Regardless of me using the strongest magnets, the GTS3M has just a better magnetic pull, and I really like that. Again, that's coupled with the fact that it has heavier pieces, so again, that pull and that heavy piece feel just feels so good. Corner cutting, both puzzles are around that 45-50 degree mark, so I gotta give them both the same rating there. After all this is said and done, what cube is my main cube after all this? I have to go with the GTS3M still. As much as I found the GAN 356X to be amazing, with all its upgrades to the GES and magnets, I found myself doing whatever I could to make it feel better than the GTS3M. As close as I got, I couldn't beat the feel I get from the GTS3M. It's truly a puzzle that's built for me. Don't get me wrong, both these puzzles are extremely amazing and I would recommend both in a heartbeat. With that said, I had to choose one. So don't be hating. Again, it's my personal feel. You may have a completely different feel. If you're new to the channel, please support me by subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and don't hesitate to comment anything below in the comments as I read everything. And until next time, happy cubing.